I'm Elizabeth. I am now officially doing stuff with Temple of Geek, which I'm really. Then you can introduce and Maddie.
And I'm Maddie. I am the deputy editor and one of the lead writers for Temple of Geek, and I love talking about Doctor Who.
Yes. So we are going to talk about Revolution of the Daleks tonight. Well, tonight for me it's 6 and it's pitch dark out. So we're going to be talking about Revolution of the Daleks. There will be spoilers. So if you have not seen the episode somehow, please look away now because we are going to be talking all about that and probably some of the news that came out after the episode was over as well. So,
yes.
Spoilers. So, what did you think, like, overall of the episode? I really enjoyed it myself, but
I really loved it. I have gone on the record saying this many, many times. You will never hear me say anything bad about Doctor Who. That's just like not in my person to say anything terrible about it. It was a wonderful episode. First of all, it was gorgeous. I mean, like it was talk about HD. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was amazing. And then just the way the story, I love a good Dalek story. Mm-hmm. And I think that they did a really great job with introducing Captain Jack right off the bat. It wasn't like ooh, we're gonna have to wait for him. It was like hey, there he is.
It was gonna be a little longer before we saw him, to be honest. Like, I thought we were gonna go much more of the episode before we saw Jack, or before we saw the Doctor break out of prison. So
yeah, right.
But I was like, hey, I'll take it, especially because I wasn't expecting that to happen right away. When he did show up in the prison, I was like, oh,
yes,
it's still exciting, even though I knew he was going to show up at some point. I was like,
right. Yes, it was awesome. And I was talking to a couple people, and they were just really happy that the Doctor got a hug.
Yes.
Because at the end of season 12, I think all of us were screaming, like, give this poor woman a hug. Like, someone needs to hug her. And then Captain Jack gives her a hug, and it was just like, their interaction was everything I feel like we could have hoped for. Yeah. It was awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. I loved it. And because, like, I when I watched the episode Friday night, I thought I might have misheard or something, but then I rewatched it today with the captions on, because I try not to watch it the first time with captions on, because then I feel like that spoils stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
And Jack said it took him 20 years to get to the cell next to hers. So she had to have been there way more than 20 years. I think she said decades at one point.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. She said decades, which is a long time to reflect on a lot of things. For sure. I literally gasped when Jack was there so soon. Threw me off. Finally a hug. She needed it. Yeah. And I mean, like, to be in that isolation for such a long time, I'm sure, like, yeah, I mean, you could already tell it was so hard on her that she, like, named the cameras. Yeah. She named the bad guys we saw, like the villains we saw in there. She gave them names. And I feel like that's such a Doctor way to cope with things.
Yeah.
Like, just make it normal.
Yeah. Because, the only other beings that she saw were, her enemies for decades, which was awful. Though I will admit, I didn't get the Angela joke the first time around. And then I was like, oh, that's hilarious.
Yes, Angela the Angel.
Yes. Yeah. I do really like how there were a lot of, like, different callbacks, between seeing the Weeping Angel and the Silence again, because we haven't seen probably since 11's last episode, I think.
Yeah.
And then the mention of Rose made me really happy too.
Yes. I loved that Jack basically gave, like, a summary of who he was. I almost feel like it was for, like, the new fans too, like, to be like, oh, that's who he is, okay, or oh, this is how long he's known the Doctor, or, like, it was just like a little, like, refresher course on, hi, I'm Jack, I've met Rose and I met the Daleks and I can't die, so in case you forgot, this is who I am.
I was a little surprised that we didn't get to see that in the episode. I thought for sure they'd get at least one Captain Jack death in.
Right? Like getting exterminated at some point and him, like, winking as he hits the ground or something, but that's okay.
back where he did that, you know, in the Dalek ship before. But
yeah,
it
so
was
many callbacks. Jack was kind to Yaz, and I love that so much. Yeah, their heart to heart was beautiful, and it was it made me cry. To be honest, I cried a lot during this episode. Happy tears, sad tears, like there was a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
And I think like their moment was so special. So special.
Yeah, it was really sweet. And he's probably had that conversation with a lot of companions. Like I would love to know more about because how I kept myself busy between when the episode aired in the UK and when it aired here on the East Coast. I kept myself busy by watching the 3 episodes of Torchwood that Martha's in. And I'm like, they've probably had so many conversations. I mean, you see a little bit of it even in Utopia when Captain Jack and Martha first meet. You know? I feel like he you know, I do wonder if he ever met a shielder and everything. Like it's very interesting to think about, but he's probably had that discussion a lot.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And we haven't seen, like, when was the last time we saw Jack? I can't even remember the last episode. We saw him Those Journeys End, right? Was that the last time we saw him?
Yeah. And then End of Time, he showed up, you know, the little cameo. And then it'll be interesting. I don't know enough about Torchwood to know exact timeline for stuff, because I tried watching it all the way through once and it was a little too much for me.
Yeah.
Even some of the parts in the Martha's episode, I was like, ooh, you know.
Right.
But because Big Finish on Friday also announced that they are going to be their 50th adventure monthly Torchwood is going to have David Tennant as the 10th Doctor in it. So it's interesting to see where that falls within the timelines.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I haven't because I didn't watch the show, I didn't really get into the audios. The only Torchwood audio that I've listened to is the one that Martha's in, because that was her first Big Finish appearance. So it'll be interesting to see how that ties in too, because they said Jack, Ianto, and 10, so I don't know exactly.
Yeah, it says, the quick Doctor saying goodbye to Jack cameo was the last before all this. Yeah. And I think that it was really special to like have him back after so long. And it's always nice when they bring back like our favorite characters.
Yeah.
You know, and so like I loved how involved he was. Like, I'm really thankful that it wasn't just like hey, I'm gonna bust you out of jail, bye, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like he was there to fight the Daleks again, like old time's sake. You know, with the Doctor and like the involvement of the companions. Like, I feel like I know, like in the beginning of Jodie's run, I feel like the companions didn't get a whole lot to do, and I feel like their involvement has been really awesome and actually like investigating, you know, we're like, Yaz was like, I'm gonna go with you, you know, and like Ryan and Graham like, yeah, we're gonna go do this, you know, and so they were like super involved in bringing
and it was their choice. They were like, yeah, we're gonna go do that, and 13's like, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna be able to stop you.
Yeah, exactly. And I loved like
because when I rewatched the episode, like you see that moment of like in Jack's face, because like he's fine going off doing it himself because he knows, you know, more or less he'll be fine, but he knows how the Doctor is when she loses somebody. So he was like, are you okay with this? And she's like, yeah, totally. Yeah. And I did love in the beginning when the 3 of them like were trying to be very doctory, like the line where when Ryan told Yaz that she was being very doctory, when she was like, you're gonna give us the information, and he was like, no. And like she tried so hard, and I was smiling like from ear to ear. I was like, oh, they're trying so hard. Like at least they're like channeling her energy, you know? Yeah, like I said, I thought it was going to be a little bit more into the story before the Doctor was back and involved in you know, whatever it was going to be going on. I think I would have liked like just a little bit more of them investigating and have them get a little bit further on their own, but I still really, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
Parallel where she said, have you had work done?
Yep. I thought that was great. That was hilarious. And he's like, you can talk. Like,
I know. This is like 3 faces since Jack last saw the Doctor, you know, it's a week anyway, you know.
Right. Totally. And I loved when he said hello to Graham and he was like half flirting with him, like, hey, you silver fox. I'm like, oh, Jack, classic Jack. Like, Graham's just like, please, hello. Okay, but Yaz shoving the doctor hurt me. Yeah. I feel like that was also, I feel like that's every companion when they don't see the doctor for a long time. Like, I feel like Amy kind of did the same thing with the doctor when he left for 12 years, you know, when he told her he was going to be back in 5 minutes. And then now, you know, Yaz was like, we had no idea where you were. Even like, but the doctor came out and was like, I was in space jail. Ugh, like, I don't care. Like, you need to like tell us what's going on or something, you know?
I know.
And like, you can't live like a regular life once you've like been with the doctor. So
yeah, I guess she didn't get a phone call in space jail.
Right. Yes. Also, when Amy thought he was dead. Yeah, that too. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, he got a little, like, it seems like the TARDIS got a little bit better, but I mean, it's obviously a lot of times just down to what they want the plot to be. But even, you know, with 12 and Clara, he was always, you know, late. I think, what was it, like 2 weeks between Deep Breath and then he came back with the coffee?
Yes. And it was like, and it's, I think it also like, I know like they do it for the writing, but I also feel like it ties into the doctor's wife when the TARDIS is like, I go where you need, when you need me to go. Like, I'm not gonna take you somewhere you don't need to be, you know? And so if the doctor had shown up 3 minutes after them, things would have been totally different. You know, they wouldn't have tried, they wouldn't have known what was going on. They would have left the planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I think because there's that line at the end after Graham and Ryan have left the TARDIS, she says something like, I could go back, I could change timelines, and it's like, well, she can't, you know, because then these Daleks, you know, figure out how to conquer the Earth, and it would not be good, and she might not know until they came back later, and it was too late.
Yeah, and then Yaz tells her, like, it's okay to be sad, and it just, like, is such a testament to, like, the Doctor hates endings.
Yeah.
Like, every regeneration, like, I love that they keep, like, every Doctor obviously is different from the last, but they still have that core of who they are. And she, like, I don't want this to end. I don't want to say goodbye. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so, like, she was like, that's like you said, she was like, I can change it. I can do it. I can go back. And Yaz was like, no. And it's like, she knew, like you said, she knew she couldn't. Like, that's not something that they're supposed to do.
Okay.
Honestly, though. And yeah.
But all right, I made notes.
No, you're fine.
I am glad. I did see, I forget if it was like, it might have been Twitter, it might have been, I might have seen like a snippet of, I think it was in the Doctor Who magazine, where I guess they did think about going back and doing pickups to kind of like have it be more 2020 in the episode, like 2020 actually wound up being, and I'm really glad they didn't, because I was really glad to have like an hour and a half where I didn't have to think about everything that's going on.
Yes.
Or something like, especially the test run of the Dalek, you know, security drone, whatever, surprisingly relevant for what happened last year. But I was glad that, you know, they left all the pandemic stuff, like we're just not going to address it. I was like, thank you.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I do like that it was relevant, that it was like a, you know, with the riots and with the issues with things like that. But it's like, well, here's what not to do. Don't create drones with alien technology. You know, and it's so funny because it's like, I love a good Dalek story, don't get me wrong, but it's like, is the human race forgetting like what happened? Are they like getting the Men in Black like memory wipe? Like, it's like, you've seen this shape before, right? Or at least your parents have. Like,
yeah, like, I mean, because, you know, in Victory of the Daleks, you know, Eleven's like to Amy, like, why don't you know what these creatures are? And the idea, I guess, is it's because of the crack in her bedroom wall. But I'm like, did that affect everybody or just her? You know,
right.
Like, well,
yeah.
Every few years, the human race forgets what Daleks are, I guess.
Yes, right. Yeah, And I just think it's funny. Like, obviously it's a science fiction show and they're going to write it the way they want to write it. And it doesn't have to be perfectly matched up with whatever happened, It's just always funny. They really must be getting mind wiped each time.
One thing that I've always thought is like a little interesting too is almost the entirety of the 10th Doctor's run is set technically 1 year in the future, but they never, worried about trying to predict anything, because of everything with Rose and whatever. Mm-hmm. But I was just, I'm glad they didn't even try, because it might have added something to it, but I'm like, I just don't want to think about it for an hour and a half.
Yeah. And I feel like it was like I feel like a lot of us missed having a Christmas special, but I feel like this was a really great way to start the new year. Like you said, an hour and a half of not thinking about the previous year, just like having Doctor Who back. And I got the chills when I heard the TARDIS materializing. And that's like my favorite sound in the whole world. And I've heard it 1,000 times, obviously. So I know what it sounds like, but and I watched Doctor Who like 2 days ago. So it's not like I haven't heard the sound in a while, Yeah. But like just that fresh moment of the TARDIS coming back, just like it gave me the chills. I was like, there it is, like there she is, like, oh,
see all their faces and they're just like, oh,
We were the companions in that moment when the TARDIS showed up in their room. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. Yes.
I really, it's just all over so good.
Yes.
Yeah. I like the New Year's episode. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter to me. I was just happy to have an episode. I'm like, all it was to me is you just had to wait an extra week, but.
Yeah, totally. I'm indifferent now because I feel this New Year's specials are special to 13. Yeah, I think so too. I think that, it is a bummer that she's getting fewer episodes, but I do kind of like that it's almost like her, it's like her thing, where it doesn't have to necessarily be Christmas themed. It's a holiday special. And then we just kind of get to start the new year with 13. So yeah, I think that's always super fun.
So it is wild to me that it was only a year ago that we got the new master.
Yeah.
Because anything before March feels like it was like 10 years ago.
Yes. Yeah. Because last year was Spyfall, right?
Huh? Yeah. Spyfall.
Yeah. Last year was Spyfall, and then Resolution was
yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay. So So the new companion. Yeah, I talked about him. I am going to call John Bishop Sam Bishop like 10 times at least, because Sam Bishop is one of the characters in the unit audio.
Oh, is he really?
like when I first read it, I was like, wait, Sam Bishop? Oh no, John Bishop. I gotta remember it's John, not Sam, because I haven't listened to all of them, but like
okay.
Like when I hear Bishop, that's my association with the word in terms of Doctor Who.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting, let's see, Resolution was 2019. Oh my gosh, Sasha is amazing. I want him back. I think we all do. Yeah, it doesn't feel like last year was Spyfall. So
that they were have him in this. So just even as like a quick little thing at the end, maybe, because it is the 50th anniversary of the Master.
Right.
It was like the day after the episode aired was the 50th anniversary of the Master. So I was like, oh, and just at the end is a little teaser or something, and then I was like,
right. Yeah.
Cover.
Yeah, I definitely would love to see him again. I don't think we're done with his story. But yeah, that's right. Resolution was 2019, and then we didn't get Doctor Who at all in 2019, and then we had New Who. I can say last year now. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't know of John Bishop. I just know he's a comedian. Yeah, I don't know much about him either. Do you know?
Yeah, I looked him up on IMDb. Amanda Ray Prescott, who I follow and know, from going to cons and stuff, she's a huge British TV fan, and even she was like, I had to look him up, so I knew that it wasn't just me not heard of him before. And I did look up his TV. It looks like it's mostly comedy stuff and like hosting like quiz shows and stuff, but
okay,
was before Catherine Tate started, she was mostly so
right.
I'm give him a chance because obviously it works, so
totally.
I'm gonna try season, but
yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how we get to meet him. Like, because the little like teaser trailer that they gave was like he had already traveled with her. Like, at least that's like the vibe that I got, where like the guy was like, number 13, the color blue, and blah 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 blah, and he like turns around and smiles. So I don't know, like that's the vibe that I got, was like he was already like traveling with her at that point, or had already met her or something, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. Be interesting to see. And I, like somebody else said, I did kind of think and hope that it was just going to be 13 and Yaz for the season. Especially because there's only 8 episodes for the next run of it, because of everything going on. They, because they had obviously have to put some of their budget towards keeping everybody safe and everything.
Right.
So I'm like, I just hope that maybe we get at least like one episode with 13 and Yaz, and maybe he comes in towards the end or in the next episode,
Yeah, for sure.
I did enjoy the, multiple companions at the same time. I wish that they had come on board the TARDIS gradually instead of all together, so that we could have like gotten an episode with each of them to interview more, but it worked, for the most part anyway, I think.
Yeah, totally.
So I was kind of hoping the next companion would be like either not Earth or not from contemporary Earth.
Right.
Like, it'd be nice if they switched it up a little bit, but who knows. Doctor Who world, because I've always wondered, with even just the one thing that popped in my mind right now is how the Shielder had that, the trap street of the different aliens. So, who knows? But yeah. I know. I hope we get a Graham and Ryan spinoff too. I really either Big Finish, or it kind of seems like Chibnall's trying to bring back Torchwood with the mention of Gwen.
Right. Or even just like a mini series or something, because they definitely like were like with the psychic paper and with like the things on their phone, like, hey, this is happening in Korea, or hey, this is happening over here, like I definitely felt a spinoff, and I feel like if there's enough of us hoping, then maybe it's actually happening.
It'll be interesting to see, because I mean, people have been, even though whenever somebody says I want Torchwood back, I'm like, do the audios and they're great, I'm sure, I haven't listened to them myself, but they're good.
Yeah,
I've heard, but I'm like, I can also see where people would like the TV show back, so maybe they'll do like a mini thing or something. I mean, because who knows what their plans were before everything this year.
Right. Imagine Torchwood with Graham and Ryan.
Poor Graham would just be like, don't know.
Yeah, he would be the one in the corner, like, this is what is happening. But someone also said that Tosin Cole and Bradley Walsh are like knee deep in other stuff, so it's hit or miss. I do feel like they had a really nice ending. It was super refreshing to have a companion, or in this case 2 companions, just walk away, and it wasn't tragic. It was just like, hey, and it was kind of nice that they already set it up for Ryan, where in the beginning you could kind of tell he was already thinking about, okay, this is like my last, like, I don't want, it's not that he couldn't do it anymore. It was just like, I need to be here. Like, my friends are here. My friends need me. Earth needs me. You know what I mean? And then like, even though, they didn't do they didn't put, parts about what actually happened in 2020 in the episode. Like, it's easy to imagine Ryan's, being stuck on Earth and seeing everything going on and being like, well, let's see what I can do to help, because he does seem like that kind of guy where he would see everything going on that he missed. First. Yeah. That he wanted to stay and help. Yeah, absolutely.
Because Grace was a nurse, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, probably between that and seeing the doctor and seeing he could run, like, it seems like he was just like, I want to help on Earth, because he's got the skills and the know-how to do it now. So
yeah, absolutely. And then, it was already sad when he was like, I have to go. And then, like, the look in Graham's eyes, I was like, oh, he's going to leave too. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. Like, I forgot that they already announced that he was leaving. And then he was like, I don't want to miss out on my grandson's life. Like, he's my family. And I did love the line where he said something to the effect of, it's going to be weird not being able to, like, look over you and say something. Because he always gives those little, like, comments always to Ryan. And Ryan's like, could you stop it? Like, he's doing, like, the normal grandpa thing, you know, like, trying to crack a joke. And he's like, could you not? So it was just really special. And then that group hug at the end was just, oh my goodness, it was so pure.
If it is safe to do so at the next Gallifrey one, I want to recreate that and do in photos.
Yes, please. Even if it's like a gigantic group of us, like,
it's so cool.
It would be really cool. Monica, write this down. Gallifrey one group hug huddle photo.
Yeah, we're all it after, you know, everything.
Yes, I know. It was so good, and it was a beautiful ending. Monica on the floor. Yes, exactly. It was such a beautiful ending, and I really, like, I almost fear for Yaz now, because she was so like, no, I'm not leaving. I'm staying with you. You can't make me leave. And it's like,
yeah.
Okay, Donna said that. Rose said that. Like, why did, like, it's like the proverbial, like, great, you said it, now I feel like something's gonna happen. I hope not, but
I know, yeah. Just yeah.
Monica says Yaz is gonna die. Let's go back and think of the happy thoughts of this ending.
But yeah, I worried because she, you know, she does seem to kind of be going down the path that Clara did, where she craves just the adventure that she can have with the Doctor. She wants to go out to people, but also see all these amazing things. And a lot of times that's, you know, what gets the companions killed and memory erased or sent back in time by angels, you know.
Right, yeah. But, like, if 13 loses Yaz while still around, that'll be drastic for her. It definitely will change her. Yeah, I feel like it. I get the image of 11 losing Amy, like that, just sobbing, like he just like an uncontrollable sadness. I feel like that's like what would happen, because I feel like 13 is finally like coming into her own, like, emotion wise.
Yeah.
I did love when Ryan called her out and was like, no, you're not going to just say you're fine. Like, for sure. You know, you are who you are, but you also need to face your emotions and understand that you're allowed to feel. And so I feel like if she does lose Yaz, like, she was already heartbroken and admitted that she was sad when Ryan and Graham were leaving.
Yeah, and they just have their own. They were like, yeah, I think we're done. Goodbye. You know,
yeah.
Hopefully we'll see you around. But, like, she was, you know, I feel like if Yaz hadn't been there, she would have definitely been crying, because it's, you know, especially seeing how emotional Jodie herself was as, you know, a person not getting to work with those two actors anymore. Oh, yeah, but yeah, I definitely do, like, because one of my things about 13's first season was that it seemed like they were trying too hard to make her bubbly and likable and, you know, upbeat and everything.
Right.
There was some people who were saying that they didn't like 12 because he was so grumpy, but definitely in this, like, last season, and definitely in this episode specifically, you got to see a bit more of her being like, okay, angry and upset and all those things, you know, because when she was talking to Ryan about, I forget what the line was exactly, but he asked her how learning, you know, what she did about the timeless child and everything and her past, how that made her feel. Like, I really didn't know what she was going to say, and then she said angry, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, and rightfully so, you know, and poor thing had at least 20 years in prison to dwell on this life-altering,
because, like, she learned she was alone for decades, and that's all she had to think about. I'm like, oh, yeah. He sat on that for long, and it definitely, based on what Ryan said to her, it definitely does seem that she's probably going to try to explore that a bit more in the next season. So.
Yeah. And her, like, because I love Jodie as an actress. She's incredible, and seeing her be portraying those emotions, like in series 12 when with like the Cybermen, you know, when she was like, don't you dare go anywhere near it, like she like brought in that like anguish of like, I already lost Bill, I'm not losing the rest of you, you know what I mean? And like she's portraying it in her own way, but it's also so Doctor.
Yes.
You know, like it's very like, wow, your 10 is showing, you know, or like, oh, your 12 is showing, you know? And so it's like, yes, it's her own emotion, but it's very Doctor. And I feel like this episode was very Doctor Who-y, which is weird to say about Doctor Who, but you guys know what I mean,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. You know, because what I always tell people is the scene in Broadchurch, that when I went back and rewatched Broadchurch after, you know, it was announced that she was going to be the Doctor, and I had always kind of figured it was going to be somebody from Broadchurch as the next Doctor. I just originally thought it was going to be Olivia, but happy to have Olivia. Olivia would make a great Doctor, though. Oh my god. Yeah. But when I went back and rewatched, because I think it was only, forget if we had all 3 seasons or if it was only just 2 seasons by the time she got it. Especially because BBC America was really late on season 3. But
right.
The thing that made me the most excited to see her Doctor was the end of the 2nd season, and this is spoilers for Broadchurch if anybody hasn't seen it. Highly recommend it. It's on Netflix, so you can probably watch it pretty easy. When she's confronting the character who killed her son and who was able to get away with it, essentially, even though they brought him to trial and everything. The way she plays that scene, if you ever just watched that one scene at the end of season 2, that was what made me the most excited for her Doctor, because she was angry, she was sad, she was upset, but she told him off in like the best way. You know, there's a line, the line that she says, you know, that, you know, she counted how many knives were in the house while she was waiting for this guy to come so she could confront him. And that, you know, they could dump his body on the beach and nobody would miss him. And the way she delivered those lines, I was just like, she's going to be an amazing Doctor.
Yeah.
Glad to see more of her getting more of that sort of stuff in Doctor Who now.
Right. So. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's amazing. Everyone's agreeing with you. Yeah. One of my favorite things about 13 is she's also socially awkward. Yeah, I love it when she was trying to start conversations with them when she like got back from jail and they were like, you're really gonna try to be cheeky with us when you've been gone for almost a year? Yeah. Like, no, you need to tell us what happened. You need to help us with this issue. Like, there's no time for small talk. Like, you know, it was really sweet though. She was like, I was in space jail.
Monica's asking,
what's up?
Sorry, it's from her universe, and it also says Doctor Who on the back.
Oh, that's so cool.
I got it. They had a Black Friday sale, so I got it.
Of course. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yes, I love a beanie. Yeah, when she was talking to Ryan, that's what it was. Yeah.
I wonder, because I keep waiting for them to add more variety to her costume, because, you know, in the 2nd seasons of 10 and 12, they both got new coats, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I think 11 didn't get a new outfit, like a completely new outfit until I think late into season 6. But I'd love it for her to have having a hat would probably be funny. Or I think it'd be really a different color coat too, so I can make another coat.
Right. Or at least like show up like in one episode in season 13 wearing a yellow beanie, like even if it's just like for a quick moment when she's like messing with the TARDIS or something and she has it on and then she like takes it off or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like in you know, in like ode to Ryan, and she supposedly loves a beanie, and then it would be a great excuse for us to all run out and purchase or make a yellow beanie. You know, or it would be a great galley cosplay because it's usually pretty cold, so, or at least inside the, well, for us in California,
I know.
It's cold. We're all thankful we get to wear our coats in February in California because we actually need them.
Now, I am going to miss getting to go to California for like a week to escape the winter. It's not been too bad a winter yet, but
yeah, right.
Scary.
Jodie literally comes to set refusing to wear a yellow beanie. I'm waiting for a yellow striped shirt, to be honest.
Oh, that would be a nice way to work that in. Yeah.
Right. Would be, yeah. Yeah. Would like to see a different outfit or even color changes, like different colored suspenders or just some variety, like 12 in all his t-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of different versions of the striped t-shirt, you know, because I think I noticed, you know, because I do the costume thing, I did notice that her shirt in this one back into her doctor outfit was a long sleeve version of the red shirt. But yeah, I think it'd be cool if she had like another colored coat. I don't know what color, but
right. Or at least like different colored suspenders or something. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, she has the jumpers are the different colors. She has like the light blue, the dark blue, the pinkish one, or whatever color that is. I mean, she looked great in the tux in Spyfall. We had that
to make this year before. I just didn't have the, you know, without a deadline. I don't do good with making stuff. So I don't.
Right.
Con is gonna.
Yeah, my closet is full of striped shirts now. Right. Love the Spyfall outfit. Yeah, that's something that I'm gonna try and do for Galley. But like you said, when you don't have a deadline, I thought, ooh, we don't have deadlines. I have all this time. No.
Yeah.
No, Galley has killed my motivation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can write things down and like ask for stuff, but that doesn't mean anything.
Because I especially like, you don't see it very much in the episode, but if you pay attention, her coat in Spyfall has red lining, and that just made my 12, because 12 is my favorite doctor.
I didn't know that.
It's not, it's just like, it feels like it's only like the back panel is lined in red, and you can only really see it when she's running, or you can kind of see it when she's like falling over.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of very a blink and you miss it, so you gotta pay close attention to it.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Make a note of that. Is Galley 1 still going? Not this year. They already postponed it like summer of last year. They said, no, we're going to do it in 2022. That way it's totally safe, you know, or at least way safer than it would be. You know, I feel like celebrities would not have shown up this year. There would have been no meet and greets. It wouldn't have been fun. You know, I want to be able to shake the hand or give a hug to the celebrities that I get to meet. You know, a couple of years ago, you know, I got dipped by Captain Jack. Like, I want that to be able to happen.
I was like, as soon as Jack came on screen in Fugitive of the Judoon, I should have gotten a picture with John Barrowman last time he was at Galley. Dang it.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It was like, he
was there like the Galley before. Because I think what Galley said is that Catherine Tate and John Barrowman came in as, you know, the kind of last minute big name guest because they thought they were going to get Chris Eccleston the year before, but then it just
2018. Yeah.
And he's, you know, he lives in California, so it was easy enough to get him.
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah. I love John Barrowman, and I love his love for Captain Jack. Like, it's always so nice. Like, I feel like this is so true for the Doctor Who actors. And I know it's obviously a little different for Christopher Eccleston because he kind of had that whole issue with the BBC executives and stuff, but he's coming back for Big Finish. Yay! But I feel like for the most part, the actors love their job.
Yes.
And they love to be who they were, you know, like I feel like John Barrowman is Captain Jack.
Yeah. Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, he's kind, he's bubbly, he, you know, flirts with everyone, and he's an all around amazing guy. And I got so giddy when we saw him in Fugitive of the Judoon, and we knew he had to be coming, you know?
Yeah, I know.
And so it was it was so fun to have him in that episode. And to see him in the prison uniform.
I know, because I was like, when I saw him, I was, because I didn't expect him that early, and I was like, oh yay, you know. Because at first, like, my original theory was that we were gonna see, you know, 13 team up with the aliens to break out or something, but then I was like, oh,
right,
more sense.
Right, yeah. Well, like, I saw like the Pating And you know, and I was like, and when she was like, don't eat the cage, I tried to, like, like, did you really, doctor? Did you try it? Like, what are you doing? Like, you've been in here way too long. Like, what is happening? And then I do love that, like, when she saw the silence and she was like, I don't remember you being here, like,
Yeah, I
ha
forgot.
ha, and then turns and it's like,
And there's
I,
Jack.
I don't, they're here, like, oh my gosh, you know, like, that was like
Here's
perfect.
and she turns and it's like, oh.
Yep. And then obviously forgetting about the silence because that's what happens when you look away. But who cares? It's Captain Jack.
Yep.
Like right next to you, you know? And just like, I really hope that we see like people who are cosplaying Captain Jack wearing the prison uniform.
Oh,
like, I hope we see like normal Captain Jack cosplayers wearing the prison outfit. Yeah. Like, not just the 13s, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mighty Pating. Yeah, that made me laugh too. I didn't catch that the first time.
Oh yes, we fought the Mighty Pating. The Pating was the imposter.
Yep. Watching because I finally got HBO Max the other week because they finally work with Roku now. And I was rewatching 42 and I was like, huh. Because I'm like, hey, this is that video game, essentially.
Right? Yes. Oh, she has Harry Potter memorized? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, when she's saying, oh, you know, do you want a bedtime story, Doctor? Yes, please, Doctor. One of the classics. Yes. And she starts reciting the first Harry Potter, apparently, is what that was.
Oh, okay.
I never got, I hate it having to mention, I never got into Harry Potter myself.
I've never read the books. So I didn't get that. But I do love that she was telling herself a bedtime story, for it to be Harry Potter is even cooler because, like, I love that David Tennant has some Harry Potter moments in his episodes, and because he was in one of or multiple movies, I don't remember. But yeah, her bedtime, like, I do, and I feel like this episode was so full of like quotable moments, like that, you know?
Yeah, I think oh, I can't remember who it was on Twitter now, but somebody in the course of the episode, I remember seeing a tweet that said, this is a PR disaster, is the first galley one. Yeah. This of the year. I'm like, yeah, that's a good one.
Yes. Oh yeah, I definitely feel like this is a good episode for galley ribbons. Mm-hmm. You know, absolutely.
Yeah. I keep meaning I'm gonna order sometime this month, just because I feel bad I won't be ordering any, you know, to go to galley, but I figure if I get some now,
right.
Yeah,
there you go. For sure.
Do one for but I don't know how many people get that, but it'll make me laugh.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Another favorite thing that let's see, is she talks to herself to calm her down.
When she said that she was going to tell herself a bedtime story, I'm like, oh, are we going to get a recap of the Doctor Who episode from the Doctor's perspective?
Right? Or something, but...
Because like I said, I've never read or watched any of the Harry Potter stuff because I just wasn't into it as a kid. But I see enough of it online that I was like, oh, it's Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know. I did think to myself, said that it was going to be back in 21. Like, I hope so. You know, they've been filming for now, but I'm just...
Yeah. I don't know what to expect. Ryan.
Yeah. Here's hoping, you know, just with, because I even, when I was looking at John Bishop's Twitter, it said that he had tested positive for COVID last week. I was like,
oh no. Yeah, it's definitely rough, and it's definitely like, I'm really thankful that we had such a strong season 12.
Yeah.
And we can definitely go back and appreciate season 11 after having season 12. Like, not to say that I didn't like season 11, I just do feel like season 12 was even better.
Yes.
And then this holiday special was incredible. Like, I feel like it was everything we could have hoped for out of the holiday special. Like, sure, it was a bummer we had to wait, you know, however long it was, 10 months, I think, which is how long that the companions had to wait for her.
Yeah.
But I think it was worth the wait. I think the storytelling was brilliant. I think the acting was incredible. Having Captain Jack back, it was like a nice little happy 2021 from the BBC to you. I
know. Yeah. It'll be, I am you know, even though I completely understand and agree with the reasons why they've cut it down to 8 episodes, I am a little sad that it's only 8 episodes.
Yeah,
like,
I know. I feel like I feel bad for Jodie. Like she got way fewer episodes than the other doctors did, but circumstances. At least we're getting a season 13. Exactly. You know what I mean? And they didn't just say,
yeah. Because my other thing, because I mean, Jodie keeps saying that she has no plans to leave in the immediate future, but it tends to be 3 seasons per doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, I hope that if she does decide to leave, that they do kind of like they did with David Tennant, and they give her like a year of specials maybe to kind of make up for it, you know. But maybe she'll stick around at least until the 60th anniversary, but who knows.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Going back from series 11 on, you can see how 13 grows. Yeah, and I think that's how most of the doctors are as well. Like looking at, especially with Matt Smith's doctor, like he was this bubbly, full of energy and curiosity, and then he gets a little more jaded and realizes that there are consequences to his actions. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then things start to get a little more serious. And so I do love that like 13 kind of had that arc too, where it's like, I have to learn how to be a woman because I've never had these prejudices against me. You know what I mean? And now like I have, and it was nice that she had the 3 companions. It felt very classic. Mm-hmm. And so it was like, oh, I have all of these wonderful people to help me. And then like, oh, that's right. You guys don't know anything about me. Here, let me show you who I am.
Even because I feel like they definitely learned, like, you know, they knew nothing about her in the first season, because very deliberately, it seemed like all of the storylines were all completely new. There was no real callbacks to anything in her season. And then you got obviously right away in her second season, you got the Master right out the gate.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like she still hasn't shared a whole lot with them if she doesn't have to, because she, you know, explained a little bit about Jack, but apparently did not fully explain the immortality thing.
Right.
Or mentioned Rose, you know, so it's very interesting to see how little, you know, 13 talks about her past, especially now that she realizes that her past is a lot more than she thought.
So different. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I loved seeing her grow. And I do love that we had that moment, like I said earlier, with Ryan, where he was like, no, don't shut me out. No, I asked you a question. Like, you're going to answer me and tell me how you feel. And because it's not okay that you just get to keep this to yourself, you know? And I feel like that's a good reminder for us too. You know, like, you've been through a lot. Say something to someone, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think there's a really good message in there.
And it feels like that's probably something he got from, even though we didn't get Grace for very long in the show, which I still don't love how that happened, but yeah, it definitely feels like something that he probably learned from Grace, you know? So and
totally.
Yeah. I would see the Fugitive Doctor again. Somebody's asked.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Or her own spinoff. Like.
Yes. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I think that'd be really cool. I feel like with Jodie, we could all take this storyline into the 60th. Yeah, I think so.
I know, because I feel like the anniversary specials are starting to be like, let's save Gallifrey, you know?
Yes. And I kind of like that theme. Like, it's like, oh, look, it's destroyed. Let's do this together, because now it's going to take one more of us or a few more of us. Yeah. Or, you know, you and Ruth and however many of the rest of us there are, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that could be super cool. How old is 13 now? Over 2000? I think so. Probably. Right?
Depending on,
because I feel like 11 was 2000, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, he says he's lost count, and then I guess it also depends on how you want to count everything that 12 went through and Heaven Sent.
Yeah. I was gonna say, he was there for how long?
Not each time, but like it was a while.
Yes. Yeah. So. It's funny, each writer gets custody of Gallifrey, right? No, RTD, no, it's gone for good. It's been destroyed. Time War done. Moffat, no, we can save it. It's fine. Here you go. Chris Chibnall, no.
With Gallifrey, and this is spoilers for anybody who's doing Time Lord Victorious stuff, but there is a bit of like, let's save Gallifrey and Time Lord Victorious as well. So.
I love it. That's so funny. It's fun, and that's like what you get with creative justice. You know what I mean? Like as a writer, you have reins of the show, and so you know if you make it work, it works. You know what I mean? And it won't. I feel like the destruction of Gallifrey really only would have worked with the Master, and I feel like they did it. It sucked because it was like really they just put it in a safe spot, like she just got it back, and then the Master was like, no, but. And like I said, it's pretty fun. Yeah. I
do kind of hope that if he does do more with Gallifrey, that we get some more Time Lords other than just the Doctor and the Master, because I haven't watched, like, especially Romana is quickly become one of my favorites between the audios and seeing her, you know, her old everything. Love Romana. This is a really niche one, but I would love to have Brax come over from the audios into the TV series, because Irving Braxatel is the Doctor's brother.
Interesting.
And he's a bit of a rule breaker himself, but more in terms of like collecting art and stuff. But like he was heavily involved in different things with Gallifrey and, you know, the Matrix and everything. So it's like, why didn't Brax know? And it's also funny because before the Timeless Child thing, Brax was the older brother.
Yeah. Yes.
And Miles Richardson would be great to have in the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be fun. More Time Lords, please. Yes.
I know. Yeah. It turns out, yeah.
Yes. Honestly, Chibs is growing. He's improving and listening to us. Yeah, I think he's doing a fabulous job as a writer. I know he gets a lot of bad rap, and I know a lot of people are naysayers about 13, but
yeah,
we love her. So
no, sometimes it takes a bit to make the transition between different showrunners in terms of, you know, effect and how, you know, they do their stories. I mean, because personally, when I first watched the show, I like binged it on Netflix, and so when it came to 11's time, the only thing I was like, oh, this is a new, you know, it's a new Doctor, a new companion, and hey, there's a new title sequence. I didn't realize that the showrunner changed until I started getting involved in the everybody was
right
off it, you know.
Yeah,
like you know, it's like
totally
he just does different.
And you have to get used to the new Doctor too. You know, it's a change for the Doctor, and it's a change for us. And I really love who 13 has become. Sure. And I love who she's become for a lot of us. So this special was so lovely and emotional and heartwarming, and I want to watch it 1,000 more times.
Because I don't know how long it's going to take it to get to HBO Max. But
right.
I guess it's on AMC Plus, but AMC Plus is also like money per month, and I was like,
yeah.
If there was more stuff on, like the only thing that I like looked through it briefly, and the only thing I want to watch Doctor Who, because they've got Des, which is that thing that David Tennant was in, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch a show about it. So I was like, no, I'll just buy it for
totally. Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, I love that she's your Doctor. Yeah, 12 is definitely still my favorite, but I am liking 13 more and more. Like I've never disliked 13, but like it just took me a bit.
It takes time, because that's exactly how I was with 12. Like it's not that I didn't like him. It just took me some time to learn who he was. And now I love grumpy Doctor.
No. Yeah, 12 wound up being my favorite, I think mostly because, like I said, I binge watched. I think it was like when I first started watching the show, season 6 it just stopped. Like season 6 had just finished. So 12 was like the first one that I watched everything as the episode came out, and I got to the New York City premiere, so I was just like, you know.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, totally.
Keep that streak going, because I was at the New York City premiere for 13's first episode too. So.
Aw, that's fun.
Yeah, because her first season started the same weekend as New York Comic Con, so they're just like, hey, you know, let's go.
That's so cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like that prison suit though. Like I wasn't sure when oh, that could be fun, especially because I've clothes before. But,
yes. Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, I really like that. It'll definitely be interesting to see how the next season goes, especially because they've got fewer stories to fit in. because the argument, I remember the argument being when they went down to just 10 episodes was that, oh, they're going to have longer episodes, so you'll still get the same amount of Doctor Who. I'm like, yeah, but I like stories, not necessarily longer episodes.
Right.
But,
yeah.
They've definitely set up a lot, so I think they can very easily run with it. Maybe they'll add an episode on or two. Or
Totally. Absolutely.
Open.
Yep. Hey, no. Get to.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad that it'll be back later this year. Hopefully. I feel like maybe they'll just show the first 4 episodes or something, and then show 4 more later when they finish them. But
yeah, that'd be kind of cool to get like half a season. I know.
But yeah. So yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was very, very good. It was so much fun having Jack back.
Mm-hmm.
I hope because I was almost hoping that he was going to be a companion for the next season too, but
right. But that's okay. Like, it's in true. I feel like that's like Captain Jack's thing. Was like, hey, I'm here to help. No, go put these back.
Oh, I haven't
had them today. And then he's like, well, I'm gonna go do other things, and then I'll catch you later.
Yeah. So at least he's around. He's on.
Yes.
So I'm sure he'll be popping in to bug Graham and Ryan.
Right. Go sit down. I'm almost done. Okay. Mommy. No, go sit down.
They haven't said how it's airing yet. Part A and Part B. It's only 8 episodes. And I think they said that does include a special if there is one. Because I do remember reading something where it said it's going down from 11 episodes, which would be the 10 episode run, and then the special down to just 8. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But, maybe if stuff's better later in the year, which I'm really hoping it will be, they might have time and budget to film a special. It just might be a little more rushed than this one was, because they filmed this one back last fall. So
yeah.
It's been done for a while.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he'll be back too.
Yeah, this isn't the last we've seen of him for sure.
Yeah, especially if they continue to only do like 1 or 2 episodes with Jack in the Torchwood audio series, which was
right
in the holiday special, was because they hadn't done it with Jack in the Torchwood audios on anything. Right. Again, I don't really keep up with the Torchwood audios, but it sounds like the only one that they've confirmed Jack having any involvement in is the 50th release with David Tennant, and so we'll see.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, still a stab.
The only set pictures I've seen was, I think the only set pictures there've been, because I don't go looking for them. If I see them on Twitter, I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, but I don't look for set pictures. There was like one scene that I saw they shot outside with 13 and Yaz coming out of the TARDIS. So, because I guess the new guy has been filming with them the entire time, and they were secret. So,
right,
we're keeping those locations pretty quiet, especially because
totally
don't want people gathering right now to watch filming,
right,
or anybody involved. So,
right, yeah, totally,
yeah, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. So
yeah, for sure, it was a really great episode.
It was. I'm looking forward to more. We'll see how it goes. And
yeah,
I think that's all we've got to say about it. I think.
Yeah, totally. And Instagram's gonna cut us off anyway. So
actually, I found out when we did the Star Wars stream the other week that it lets you go for a while now. Like, I think we talked for like an hour.
Really? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay. Over here, I'm like watching the time. Like, I hope we don't go over. But that's good to know then.
It was like I kept looking at the clock too, and I was like, are they going to cut us off? And it just let us keep going. I'm like, all right, I can talk about Star Wars for an hour and a half.
I know, right?
I know. Talk about so.
Right, for sure. But, yeah, and I think we could talk more about this episode, but I feel like we kind of hit. Yeah. I feel like it was just a very special episode, and I feel like we kind of hit everything that was gut-wrenching and wonderful. And I mean, like with the design of the Daleks, like
there was like they were like Tron Daleks.
Yes, right. That's what they reminded me of, and they were so intense, and it was like the fact when the doctor called them her pets, like I was like, ooh, like I audibly was like, oh no, like they are not gonna like that.
And I thought it was really clever how she, you know, got rid of him. But at the same time, I'm like, ooh, is that going to be something that comes back to haunt her?
I feel like it will. I feel like every time that you think that the doctor has rid the Earth or the universe of the Daleks, they end up, like she was saying, in the pockets of somewhere. You know,
out of the void before, so.
Right, exactly, because that's where they went at with the what's the episode with Rose when they get separated? Yeah, that one, Doomsday. Yeah, that's like what happened, and so they can still show up, and we know obviously with 11 he encountered them, and then 12, and so like they're gonna end. We haven't seen the end of them, which is great because they're like the original like terrifying villain from the 60s, so I really hope that we constantly see them, you know.
It was kind of nice to get like a Cybermen and a Dalek episode back to back, essentially. Mm-hmm. You know, there were 10 months between them, but it was very nice.
Yeah,
I didn't like that they were all new things in her first season, but it's also really nice to see old monsters and all that. So yeah, I'll definitely be interested to see where they go if they take the Time Lord Cybermen any further, because that was a gorgeous design for them too. I loved that. So, ooh, you still there? Oh, I can't hear you now. Uh-oh. Yeah, I can't hear you. Can anybody else hear her? Because I can't. Oh. Now I'm on my own. Uh-oh. What happened? There we go.
Okay, there we go. There. Sorry, I was like, I got a phone call, but my phone wasn't ringing, so I tried to like swipe it away or turn it off, and then the audio went away. So here I am. I'm here. That was a bummer. Technical difficulty. Sorry, guys. So I don't know what you guys were talking about. I see the silence.
Froze for a second.
Okay, go throw it away.
I'm gonna throw this away.
No, out there, please. Out there, please. Thank you.
Well, first.
Yeah, the second amazing though. I loved like the design. So,
yeah.
If I was better at armor stuff, I would totally try to make one, but I would never be able to get that on a plane to California.
Yeah, right. Like it would have to like sit in your bedroom as like a shrine.
Yeah.
You know, and I like, as much as I love like the new designs that keep happening, they keep reverting back to the classic gold or bronze or whatever color it is.
Yeah.
It's always great. You need to go. I'm almost done.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll be interested. I can't. No, I'm for season sure, and I do. They've really been able to keep their secrets. This.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about this before, where Chris Chibnall was really good about secrets on Broadchurch, especially.
Right.
Like one actor that people didn't think would be back in season 2 was, and they kept that secret by him.
You need to go.
And he had to wear a wig to and from set so that people didn't see.
Push me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's like good to know that he's like good at keeping secrets. So then hopefully we can hope that there are rumors, but rumors are just that. So you can't believe what you see until it's announced officially by showrunner and stuff like that. So
back this year is that we shouldn't have too terribly long to wait for a trailer.
Yeah, I would hope not.
If they want to show the entirety of this next season in 2021, like latest it could start would be December.
Yeah.
So not too long of a wait.
Sorry, I'm like changing rooms. There we go. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. I hope we get the trailer soon. If it is airing this year, then we should get it soon.
Yeah. But, they might because they have to say the Doctor will be back in this year, and then it might wind up being that they come back on years.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Happens.
We won't know.
yeah, I'm just happy that if it comes back this year at all, I'll be happy and stuff.
Totally.
Hopefully that means they were able to do everything safely and all that. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to what else they've got, especially because I know a lot of people about the Time Child arc, but maybe too. So probably wrap up. But it was really great talking to you.
Yes, always. I love talking Doctor Who.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I am going to hopefully do this right so you can rewatch it later.
Yes.
Even a little late. Hopefully I do that right.
Yes. Yep. So when you hit end, that'll be an option. You just press IGTV.
Awesome. Perfect. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.